Good morning. Thank you guys for tuning in. And in today's video, we are putting this Mazda 2-liter 3FE motor into this W203. So let's head on over to the workshop and get started. Now the key component to getting a Mazda engine into your Benz is going to be some custom engine mount. So I already went ahead and went to AutoZone to get some Ford V6 engine mounts. Simple, straightforward rubber engine mounts. So these will just slide into the existing holes on the cross member, same as I did on the M104 Turbo. The custom engine mounts I built a while ago for the M104 Turbo Racer Benz didn't come out too bad. This will be my third attempt, but for this we have a bit of a different design. I got these engine mounts with the engine along with a box full of other parts, but we'll get to that later on. For now, I'm going to be cutting these so that I can reuse this part that goes against the engine, and then as well as this. This is some nice thick steel, so we'll get these two cut off and then build from there. I got 3 of these universal engine mounts because we'll also need to figure out a gearbox mount. Let's get started on the 2 engine mounts.
Rage on that beat, going crazy.
Hello? Now it's the next day. Yesterday I spent the rest of the evening measuring everything, checking the clearances. I also got the intake manifold onto the engine as well as a turbo manifold just to check if everything fits, and so far so good. This is exactly how the engine is going to sit in the car, and I'm pretty happy with how it's looking. There's literally still a million things to figure out, but we are making some good progress. Can also close the hood and check out how that looks. And then another thing that has to happen pretty soon is we need to build a new oil pan for the car. We'll be building one that has the pickup and everything at the back, because as you can see, there's just no way that one is going to work. The steering and everything is just going to be in the way. So we already have the correct spacing over here for the new oil pan. We already planned that out. Everything is looking perfect. We'll also be able to close up this hole at a later stage, but for now I'm gonna get started on the gearbox mount. So let me show you guys down there what my plan is. For the new gearbox mount, I will be reusing this piece that goes under the car. I just have it removed to get those 2 holes over there drilled a bit bigger because that's where the new universal engine mount is going to go, and then we'll build from there, but I'll show you here in a second. And then I just want to get some new paint onto it, make it look a bit better, get that back in there, and then build from there. But let me show you down there what the idea is. So basically we'll have this going back over there once we got some paint onto it, and then I'll take another of this universal engine mount, get it into there, and then we'll build some brackets off of this piece over here. Simple trick to get that shape is I just took a piece of paper and then I would just rub my finger over it, and then we have the shape over there. So let's head on over to the workshop and get started on building a new gearbox mount. Now the weather wasn't looking too great last night, so I couldn't really continue working outside, but I did come back into the workshop and continued working on the pieces for the engine mounts. As you guys saw, I already got the two plates on the engine, as well as those two round plates that go on top of the universal engine mount. The only other parts we needed was these two. So I just notched this out so that will connect up like that. And then I already got all four pieces shaped to exactly the right form so that we don't have any huge gaps. Now comes the fun part of getting everything tacked up. And I do want to do that on the car because when you put heat into metal, it tends to move around and we don't want that. So let me see how I'm going to get this portable welder closer to the car and start tacking things together. Now, welding in itself is difficult enough, and welding at night with one light and in a much more difficult spot makes life a bit harder. But I got the engine mounts tacked up as best as I could. The welds do not look good, and that's why I have them out of the car now to get them welded on the table. I also made these two little tabs that I want to add. I think they are gonna look pretty cool on there. So I got myself this little workstation to finish these up, get them welded, get some paint onto them, get them back on the engine, and then remove the engine to fully weld the gearbox mount while it's on the gearbox, just so that it doesn't move around, and then we'll get that painted as well. Perfect. Now that we have the engine mounts and the gearbox mount, putting the engine back in the car goes much easier, and we finally have a floating engine. Even though I really do enjoy fabricating things, it is very time consuming, so unfortunately we ran out of time for this week's video, but at least the engine mount and the gearbox mount is done. In next week's video, hopefully we can get started on that oil pan like I said, and I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please remember to hit the like button, and then I'll see you in the next one.